Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ready Set Pop. My name is Mariel Besori, greeting you from the land of the one and only Luis Miguel, Mexico. And here with us is my friend Mausi Mumu, joining us from the land of the one and only Juanes,
Yeah.
Colombia. And my friend Lucky Lulu, also known as Lucas, joining us from the land of Joao Gilberto, uh,
Okay.
Brazil.
Yes.
Brazil.
So, hey everybody.
Hello,
Hey,
Maria.
friends.
I
Did
love
you
that
guys
we have a new introduction.
the new
And
intro? I
Yes.
know. I was gonna ask you if you guys like it.
yeah,
Yes,
we
I
did.
really like.
Yeah,
Actually, today I was thinking what is gonna be the introduction
Ah,
for today.
you
yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
You
I
never
love
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
this.
darling.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Great. Hey everybody watching. Welcome to another episode. Today
Hello.
it's gonna be really emotional, very cool, very nice. This is a topic that chosen by my friend Mao. And it's all about the soundtrack of our lives. I mean, there's a lot to talk about today. So, Mao, I want you to give us an introduction to what's going to happen today.
Thank you, Maril. I have to give the credit to my sister because she was the one that has this idea, that had this idea.
Oh,
Oh, shout
Yes,
out.
yes, because the other day I was in my dad's house with her, and we
mhm.
were talking about the podcast, and she was like, "Oh, it's a very good idea to have an episode about like the music that is important to you, like the soundtrack of your life." And I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I love that kind of subject because actually in my Spotify I have a playlist called the soundtrack of my life."
Oh,
So, oh, I want to know what guys think about it and what are the songs that are important to you. So I
okay.
was like, oh, okay, so I have to give the credit to my sister today. Hello,
Oh,
Sarah, if you are watching.
thank you,
Yeah.
Sarah. Thank you.
Shout
It's
out, Sarah.
it was a great idea. Oh, hello, Adrian. Hello, Ruan. Hello, Francesca. All our
Hello,
friends
guys.
watching. Uh,
Hello,
Also,
friends. Hello, beautiful community.
always a pleasure seeing you here, boys and girls.
It is. It
Me and
is.
Francesca, because it's mostly boys. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a great topic, Mao, and I know we could talk about this for hours. Hello,
Yes.
Joaquin. Uh,
Joaquin,
uh,
well,
yeah, it's great to talk about this. I mean, we only chose three songs
yeah.
each because we could talk about this for hours, but
Yeah.
we don't want to bore
Yeah.
you, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be it's
Let's
gonna be fun.
let's remind everyone that there's gotta be more to life by Stacey Rico was forbidden in
Yeah.
this because it would be too obvious and we talked about this song a lot, but obviously in my case it's the song of my life.
And in my
Okay.
case too, so yes.
And
yeah.
I didn't want to choose "Tell Me How You Feel" by Joy Enriquez because I know
Yeah.
I have talked about that song a lot. So
Yeah.
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 Okay. So Mao, since you are the one that chose this topic, why don't you start with your first song?
Okay, thank you, Maril. I want to start with a song that was important to you, and I know one of our friends of the community is going to be very, very happy with my selection because it's a CCM song, and I remember since the time, even now, that when I start listening to the song, when the song is sounding, I got goosebumps, like
Goosebumps.
I
Mhm.
like, oh my God, it reminds me so much of my childhood and this time when I used to listen to the CCM radio with my mom, and my mom actually was my mom that was listening all the time because she was the one that put the CCM radio station. So the song is No Soy Igual by Crystal Lewis. And I decided to select this song in Spanish because here in Colombia she was very famous, as I mentioned this several times in this show. She was very known in the CCN community back in the day. She was like everywhere,
Mhm.
So I remember listening to this song over and over again, like in on the radio. And in that time had a different meaning, because
Mhm.
I was a child and I had this kind of message of faith all the time and trying to believe. I still believe right now, but in a different way and with a
Mhm.
different meaning. So I love the song. I love the lyrics. I was not so much a fan of her when I was a kid, because she was everywhere. And I perceived it was not my kind of music, you know. I perceived her like adult contemporary. But now and thanks to Adrian, I feel more connected to her music, and I think she's incredible. Like she was like very different in comparison to other CCM girls back in the day. So that song is very important for me because of that. And right now, when I think no soy igual, not the same, I'm not the same. It's like, okay, yes, I'm not the same. I'm not the same who Mao was when I was like 5 or 10 or even 15 or 20.
Of
So
course.
we are evolving all the time. So yes, and the faith is a very important part of my life, and believing God is a very important part of my life. So I had to include a CCM song, and I think was the best selection.
Well, Adrian is about to have a heart attack in here. So, yeah.
I imagine. But that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a great song, Mal. I love it that you chose that one because it has a really important message, and obviously you change through the years. You're not the same. I mean, you're still the same in some kind of essence, but
Yes,
you
Yeah,
change. You know,
your
and
essence is the same. Yeah.
your essence
yeah,
is the same, but your way of thinking, your thoughts, your opinions, everything goes changing. So it is
Yes, yes.
completely like that.
Of course, she's talking about like since I believe in God, I'm not the same.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I perceive the sun in a different way. Like I'm not the same every day. I'm not the same.
No, we try
So
to improve as people. So
yes,
yeah.
yes, and evolve. Yes. What do
So
you think, Luki? I'm not. I know that you're not a huge fan of this woman.
Yeah. Well, I love to hear your interpretation about it because uh, I didn't like the song. Obviously, I never do. But I learned to appreciate her as an artist, as I said before here, because I perceived that she was very different, and she's still very different. Like even being a Christian girl, she's very outside of the box. Like always challenging the church and the people who's judging her for the clothes and the hair and the things
mhm.
she stands up for. So I really admire her as an artist and person. The song not my thing, but now that I heard your interpretation of uh, your own life, like the way you feel you are not the same and changing every time, I think that's so beautiful to listen, because I was not connected to the original lyrics, because she's saying I changed it because Jesus made me change or something.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I like this for you for sure, and it's always good to know more about your background story anyway. So cool.
No. Thank you, friend. Thank you, friends.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for all of us to get to know more about each other, and you guys
Yes,
watching us. Obviously, maybe you can relate to some of our stories. You never know.
exactly,
For
exactly.
sure.
Okay, so who's next?
Luki, go
Okay,
ahead.
okay, we are going really way back. 1994. I was just a kid, 4 years old, but I was already obsessed with Shusha.
Mhm.
It's
For
like,
sure.
for those who doesn't know Shusha, I don't know if there is a person like this, but she was a Brazilian icon. She is a Brazilian icon since the 80s.
Still
So when I
is.
was born, she was already huge, very famous. And she was the first record I got in my life, in
Mhm.
my number one birthday. So I was, as a kid, I don't know, fascinated by her. When I was like 3, I think, my mom took me to a friend's house of the family that I have no idea who was. And I remember they had vinyl by Shusha that I didn't have, and I was like for hours staring the pictures and trying to read because I was not able to read yet, and looking the photos and everything. And at the end, the couple that was friends of my mom gave to me the album because
Oh.
they saw how fascinated I was about it.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, and is really crazy that I was super connected to the song that I choose as a 4-year-old kid, because the song is called Sexto Sentido, which means like the 60 cents, you know,
Sixth
like
Sense. Mhm.
Sixth
yeah,
Sense.
intuition. That is something that I really believe now, and I did my whole life. I really believe we have a voice inside of us guiding us, like saying, "Don't go that way, go this way. This is wrong. This is right." And a lot of people tends to ignore and thinks I'm just crazy, you know, it's nothing. But no, I truly believe that. And for me, watching that music video that Mao watch, and it was crazy because at that moment my family was in church, like yours, family Mao, and church here in Brazil was really against Xuxa. Like they
Mhm.
had some theories that she sold her soul to the devil to be that
To have
big, you
fame.
know, things like
Mm.
that. And the music video is pretty much based on New Age. That is like a philosophy that believes in a new world, more peace, and they believe in fairies and things like this. And the music video is kind of Shusha is kind of fairy. There's a newborn kid representing this new era coming. And I remember my mom super mad, like, stop watching this music video. Is new era is not good. And I was completely ignoring all of that with four. So for me, it's crazy to remember that. And I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but my father was the singer in church at the time.
Mm.
Okay.
So I remember I was in church and the guy was preaching about Shusha, saying for the moms to you shouldn't allow your kids to listen to this woman. And when the cult, we say cult here, I don't know in your country, was finished,
Ah,
I
el
went
culto.
El Culto. See, I
Uh-huh.
went to the stage and I took the microphone and I sang Shusha in the church. But yeah,
No way, friend. No way.
was not like
Didn't.
innocent. I knew what I was doing. I was like confronting, like saying, "No way, I'm gonna listen to Shusha. Doesn't matter what this guy say." So for me, it's crazy to remember all that. Like
You
at
sang that
8,
song?
not that song. I sang like Ilarie. That was
Yes,
the
very
most
famous.
popular.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
what
one.
happened? How
Oh,
old
my
are
father
you?
ran to me and took the microphone, of course. But I
How old
remember
were you
doing that
when that happened?
four.
Or
Okay.
So four.
No
Yeah,
way.
it
same
was
as
a
my
strange
daughter
video.
is now, and I would believe
Yeah.
I believe she would do the same. So yeah,
Exactly.
I know,
Yeah.
I
No
know, I
way.
know the intense how intense can a
Yes.
kid be. So yeah, a kid can be.
So for
Wow.
me, it's crazy to think that that song made so much sense, and I was already being like I am today, like making statement and believing in what I want. Doesn't matter what people were telling me. So it's different than Mao that is celebrating the changes.
Yeah.
With my song, I'm celebrating the essence that was in me like since always, and I love to remember that. So that's why I chose this
Wow.
song. Yes.
You
Uh,
cannot see because Luquitos is sitting because he has a lot of marks on his legs because of his dad and mom, with him.
Maybe that was what missed in my life. You know, never happened. Yeah,
Wow.
you guys had the chance to listen to the song Marielle.
I did. I did. I know who Shusha is because she was also popular here, and because
Hmm.
she was married to Pele, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
married, they had a relationship, but yes.
Oh well, they were together. So yeah, I know she was
Yes.
popular in here because of her music and that. So for me, for in Mexico, we have Tatiana. So it's like kind of the similar because she used to sing songs. She still sings songs for kids.
Okay.
And when I listened to it, I thought of you as a very young boy listening to that song, and what the impact that it had on your life. Because I didn't understand much because I only listened to it once. I need to listen to it
Hmm.
again. But
Yeah,
now that you're telling us this story, it really is part of the soundtrack of your life because
it
you
is.
stood to what you believe and what you loved, even when you were only 4 years old. You were like, I don't care
Yeah,
what you say. I'm gonna keep singing my song. So it
yeah.
was great.
In,
It was great that you stood for what you believe.
it is. In the song, she's talking about dream. like it's good to dream and you can be whatever you want. So
Yes.
another fact in the song that gives me the goosebumps that Mao mentioned is that at the end of the song she asked to the kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And there's
A
different kids.
professora.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
And there's
A
a kid that
modelo.
says, I
Yeah.
want to be just like you. And she
Yes.
replies, and I want to have a little girl like you. And she
Uh,
did. Like 4 years later, she had a daughter. So every time I listen that, it give me the
Mm.
goosebumps because her dream came true. What
Oh.
about you, Mao?
well, listening to the story, it's another point of view, because we also had a Colombian version of Shusha that was Xiaomi.
Yes.
And actually she recorded some Angelica's and Shusha's song.
Yeah.
But even though Shusha was also popular here, and the show was so popular here in Colombia, that's the reason I think we had Xiaomi.
Yeah.
Talking about the song, for me was a surprise, friend, because I was watching the video and I was trying to remember what I liked when I was 4 or 3 to connect in a way, because even when you can see these little kids in the video, it's like okay, but she's like a grown woman. So
Yeah.
for me it was not so easy to connect at first, but then and listening to your story, I was thinking, and okay, yes, because she was like a godmother, she
Yes.
was like a mother for kids. She was like this kind of image that you have, like, oh, she's so tender, she's so cool, she's so
Yeah.
beautiful. And yes, I understand that, and it's amazing to listen to that story that you
It's
did.
so cool.
It's
Yeah.
so cool. It's so cool because I was thinking about me when I was 4, and I never did something like that.
No.
So it's amazing. It's amazing. And talking about the song, I kind of understand some lyrics, and it's just beautiful. At the end, I was remembering the same part that you just mentioned, and it's very beautiful because I was a professora, a modelo. And it's beautiful, and the video is also beautiful with the kids and the babies and everything. Even
Yeah.
I think right now is forbidden, but some babies are nude in the video.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah, it's
hold
funny.
on.
It's funny, but at the same time, it was very common to have this kind of things in the 90s, because I have like a lot of pictures of me being
Yeah.
naked when I was a baby. I don't know
Yes.
why.
I
Yeah, it
hate
used to
that.
be so
Yeah.
popular, right? It used
It
to be
was so
so
it's so
popular.
popular. Yes, yes. I don't know why.
Terrible.
I don't know
But
why.
right now, the way they do, at least here in Brazil, is terrible too. They put the baby around
Like a
something.
tamal, like a
Oh,
tamal,
looks
yes.
like the
Yes.
baby is. I'm sorry to say that, but looks like he's dead or something. I hate
Yeah.
that.
It's so
Yes.
tight.
It's
The poor baby
like
is like so
yes.
tight,
Yes.
and they are
And
so tiny, so it looks weird.
and talking
It
about
looks
the
weird.
song, Mal,
It looks
that
weird.
unlocked a memory really random that I remember. This song is almost 5 minutes, and I
Yes.
remember I, as a child, watching the time in the CD player, and what it was my dream to see a song that had 5 minutes. I don't know why. I was obsessed with it. So I was
Okay.
always
Okay.
expecting, oh,
Okay.
this song is gonna be bigger and bigger. And I
Oh.
remember that this was too close.
Well,
Okay. 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 Oh, fun
not with
fact.
today's songs. Not
No,
with
today
today's
would
songs
not
that
be possible.
are like
No. No.
1 minute.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What
Um,
about you, mi Mariel?
well, I want to go back too because this first song I chose, I'm going like during the periods of my life. So I'm going to start when I was a kid. Um, it's 1993, probably. I was 4. Um, and my dad, who you all have met, he used to play a cassette in our car. In a car, you cassettes. So I know he used to play "Off the Wall" by Michael Jackson. That album, I know it's his favorite. I know he loves it. And the song I remember the most is "Rock with You." So I chose "Rock with You" for this situation because this song for me it has a very very special meaning. Not because I grew up listening to it, but because that's the song that made me love pop music. So
Okay.
I remember being in the car in the back, like this big, and listening to it, and I could imagine myself dancing to it. And I love hearing, like the music. So I pay attention to a lot of that song's details, like the music. I didn't understand the lyrics back then because I was only 4, but I knew it was cool. I knew it sounds danceable. I love Michael Jackson's voice, and I always asked my dad, repeat that song, and he was like, which song? And I would be like, da, da. So I only knew how to like bubble to it, but not say the words exactly. So every time I listen to that song, for me, it's like that song opened my mind to love pop music. So that's why I love it so much, because it brings me back to those moments when we went to the highways and went visiting my uncles, my aunts, and always in the car, my dad used to play it and play it and play it until that tape, I don't know whatever happened to it, but I'm pretty sure it broke down because it was played all the time. So it's like a memory between me and my dad, and me discovering pop music. So that's why it is so important for me, because it's really a very good pop song. And I want to
Yeah.
know if you guys are familiar with it, because I know it was a hit in the 80s, but we know Michael Jackson.
In the 90s, I think, actually.
It's 80s, Mimao, because of the wall is from the
No,
80s.
no, sorry. Not in the 80s, in the 70s, actually, me, Maria. Because of the wall, yeah, I think, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong, sorry.
I think it's the 80s.
Yes?
But anyway, yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
but I know we weren't even born with that song when that song
No.
came out. But it's been there for me since forever. So
Yeah.
I want to know if you guys are familiar with it and what do you guys think, Mao?
Thank you. Of course, I'm a Michael Jackson fan, and of course, I know this song that is a classic. And since the moment that you shared this song with us, I knew that, oh, of course, it connected with Don Humberto for sure, because I know that he loved this album. You mentioned this in another episode. So the song has a really magical meaning. I don't know why, and I can understand why you feel so connected to the song. And this kind of song that you share with someone as important as your dad, it's like, oh my god. When I think that is for you, like when you listen to the song, it's like, oh, you are like transported to that moment. Like I
Mhm.
think you feel moved to that moment when you were in the car when your dad singing the song.
Yeah,
So it's a classic. It's amazing. This song was before like all the explosion of Michael Jackson, because of the wall. I think is his debut in
it's his debut. Yes.
singing solo. Yes. So yes, it's a classic. It's a classic. And I was watching the video today, and he dancing with this spark
Hmm.
dress. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful,
Yeah,
and I love also Michael's voice.
and I want to mention before going to Luquitas, when I went to Mariah Carey's concert in 2016, yeah, 2016, there was a break in her concert when she went to change, and one of her background singers began singing that song. So
Oh, okay.
Oh,
it was
so
so
cool.
cool, and I couldn't stop crying. And I'm like,
Oh, full circle moment. Yes.
I'm watching my favorite artist, and all of a sudden, one of her background singers is singing the song that made me love pop music. It's insane. It's insane.
The
So for me,
world.
yeah, I
Yes.
know.
The
So
world
yeah,
was planning that for you.
I
Yes.
remember
Yeah.
that. Now, what about you, Luquitas?
Well, first of all, this album was released in 1979, of
I
Oh,
course.
know. I knew that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
late 70s.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
but
Late
was
70s.
was huge in the 80s. Yeah, so we were
Mhm.
Yes.
both right. Yes.
Okay.
And about the whole thing, for me, the most special thing is the background story, because of course the song is iconic. Michael Jackson is iconic. There's no doubt about that. So I love to know how your love and passion for pop music started. I was trying to think, mine was probably the Spice Girls, I think. Uh, but I love the memories you have with your family, because I don't know if it's because you are a girl, and I feel like the your memories are so full of what's the word? Like in Portuguese, carinho, like
Like tender, like.
tender, you know,
Mhm.
because my memories with my family are all like the hell I put them through.
Singing in church to Shusha.
Yeah, my mom was telling today a story of something that I create in kindergarten and made all the teachers crazy. I don't know. So all the memories are like this, like I was a devil kid, and with you is always so precious and tender. I love the relationship you have with your parents. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like the story, especially how the your passion for pop music started, because I feel like pop music brought us together somehow. So
Yes.
yeah, if it wasn't, maybe your father listened to all the songs, Michael Jackson, we will never be here. You would be like a girl
No.
listening to música ranchera, no sé.
¿Qué pasó, compadre? ¿Qué pasó?
Corridos.
Yeah, who knows?
Yes.
Who knows?
Yeah, I know. And now I can see it in my daughter because I was my daughter's age when I was beginning to listen to that song.
Yes.
And the other
Yes.
day she was playing, thanks to Francesca, who now makes me watch the Trolls movie. Um, there's this 1968 song by Simon and Garfunkel called "The Sound of Silence," and my
Yes.
daughter loves that
Da,
song,
da, da,
and
da, da, da,
it's
da.
it's bringing me back, and I'm like, okay, I can relate to her because I was the same. So,
Yes.
yeah.
It's really cool.
Ruan says, cool that you mentioned the music that made you love pop music because I never actually thought about that, but now I feel like the
Yeah.
Millennium album by the Backstreet Boys was the one that made me love pop. My mom wore that
Right.
city.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah. Since then, when I was a little kid, pop music was always home, thanks to my mom and my aunts that brought me the Dream Within a Dream tour DVD back in 2003.
Oh,
Great memories, Ruan. Thank you for
yeah, so
sharing.
beautiful. Yes.
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 Yes, it's beautiful. And it's not so common that your parents have this kind of music.
No, but Juan
Yes,
is a
no.
little younger than us, so
Yeah, he's
it
younger.
Okay,
makes
that's
sense.
why.
Yeah.
Okay, 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 that's
Because
why.
he says he was born in '94, so yeah, it makes sense. Uh,
Yeah. And
Okay,
maybe
okay,
his
okay.
mom was young too.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And yes, Francesca, you can laugh all you want, but now it's all your fault that I'm watching the Trolls movie all day. So, okay, let's move on to Mao.
Me again. Well, I'm going back to 2002 because the other song was from 1998. And in that moment, I was 12, listening to that song, and it's "Feel" by Robbie Williams. And in that moment, that song was like, oh, I love that song. I love like in that moment. Of course, I didn't know very well English, and it was not possible for me to translate every word, like to know the meaning. But for me it was possible to understand what feel was, like, oh, quiero sentir, I want to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, like, you want to be in love and you want to have a crush and stuff like that. So for me it was like that in that moment. So, oh, I want to feel, I want to be in love and stuff like that. And now that I'm 34 years old, it has a completely different meaning for me, because the song is not talking about, it's talking about love, but it's talking about something deeper for me and something else. And it's like when you feel this kind of feeling, like, oh, I feel, sometimes I feel good, sometimes I feel bad, sometimes I don't feel enough, sometimes I feel enough. Sometimes I'm eager to live, and sometimes I don't want to live anymore. So I love this song because of that. And I think this song is like the definition of my life today. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I want to eat the world. And sometimes it's like, oh, I'm tired of so many things in life.
Yeah.
So I love that song, and I think Lucky and I had this conversation about the song and about life and about being gay men living in this world. And we connected in this point, like, he told me, like, oh, I can understand now because I feel the same sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that that's the reason this song is so important for me. The lyrics are so meaningful for me. And yes, it's like a definition of who I am today. So, what do you think about the song? I want to start with Mariel.
Okay, thank you, Mimao. I didn't know this song was from '98.
No,
No, no, no, no,
2002.
no. 2002.
The other
Oh,
one, yes.
The other one, the Chris and
oh,
Lewis one,
oh,
was
yeah, yeah.
from
Because
1998.
I
Yes.
was like, oh, I remember
No,
it.
no, no.
Yeah. Okay. Mm, I will go to the comments in a moment, guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just read the same thing. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I love this song. I think it's very powerful. I think it has a very strong message. I'm not a huge fan of Robbie Williams, I must admit, because I'm not a huge fan of voice
Of
singers.
boys singing. Yeah.
But in this case, I do acknowledge that this song is cool. So I'm glad that you feel that way about this song and that it connects so much with you and the power that it has had in your life. It's a great and powerful song. Um, and if you think about Robbie Williams, you say, "Oh, name 3 Robbie Williams songs." We always think about Feel. So I think it's like, attached to him, the one that you can associate with him the most.
Oh,
So,
yes. Actually, when he recorded this song, he was my age right now. He was
Oh,
34. Yes.
oh,
awesome.
that's very cool. Well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
one more thing. So I think it's a great song. I mean, it's not my kind of genre because it's too rocky for me, but I like it. I like the meaning, and I like now that you're telling us how it has an impact for you. I like it. Thank you, Mimo,
Oh,
for
thank you,
sharing.
Maria. Thank you.
You,
Thank
you're
you.
gonna see me cry today a lot. Don't ask me. I'm gonna cry. Leave me
Yeah.
alone. Bye.
What do you think, my friend?
Well, this song was huge here in Brazil, 2002. I remember I liked the song back then, but it was the same like you. It was like, I know the song is good. I like when it's on the radio, but it's crazy that we connected to that song at the same moment without saying anything to each other. We
Yeah.
just suddenly talk about the song. You told me something. I was like, no way, I'm really obsessed with this song right now. And for me, it was actually that happened after I watched his doc on Netflix. That is really good. I recommend to everyone who loves pop music. There's a lot of behind the scenes, and they are recording Robbie Williams since the beginning of his solo career to make all of this. And there's a lot of backstage stories with Take That. And there's a moment when he had a relationship with Jerry Halliwell from the Spice Girls, so she's
Oh,
there. It's really cool to watch, and you understand that he was always kind of a clown uh, with his personality, but he's very deep, like with his emotions, and his songs are very honest. So
yes.
this song is very honest, and what gained my attention was the lyrics right now. Kind of like the same reason of Mao, but other is crazy because it's different for each of us. But the parts that really, really got me is when he says, my brain speaks a language that I don't understand.
Then,
Because
Hmm.
being so anxious sometimes my body does not connect with my brain, and it makes me kind of crazy. And I love the lyrics. There's so much life going through my veins going to waste,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
yes.
I feel like this constant fear of not living my life fully. I want to do so many things, I want to see so many things, I want to go everywhere, and it's so hard to do those things being an adult, especially in our age that is so different from the times of our parents. Everything's so expensive, everything is about money, and
Yes.
that makes me crazy. So I feel like that all the time. Like, I have so much life in me, I want to do so many things, but a lot of this life is going to waste no matter what I do. So for me, this song is like very meaningful too.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
it's great that you choose this, because I have the chance to talk about my perspective too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. It means a
Thank you.
lot
It
because
is.
yes.
also related to Luquitas.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Actually, you were talking about the lines and the lyrics, and a lot of the parts of the lyrics are very meaningful if you think about it,
Yeah.
because you understand it in a different way. If you listen again, for example, that part when he says, "I don't understand the role that was given to
Yeah.
me," or something like
Mm,
that. It for me was like, yes, I don't know what is my mission in life.
mhm.
Sometimes I feel
Okay.
like, oh, I want to have a mission in life, but sometimes I think like, oh, I don't understand why I'm here in the world.
Okay.
So
Mm,
yes, it's powerful.
He's
it
very
is.
We
powerful.
are very philosophic today.
Yeah, and
Yes.
musically is very good. Like the sound of the
Yeah.
music,
Wow. Yes. Yes. And musically, yes. The instrumentation is amazing.
amazing.
Rowan says, Feel by Robbie Williams is one of my favorite songs of all
Oh,
time,
great.
along
Yes.
with Try by Nelly Furtado.
Oh,
Definitely part of my soundtrack. Yes, great, Rowan.
awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, great.
Joaquin says, Feel was released in the late 2002. I found the song very good and the video some horny. I don't remember the video.
In the video, he's
with horses and things, I think.
and
He's
Oh,
black
yes,
and
and
white. He's in a tub.
actually,
I
Yes.
don't remember it.
yes, the girl that is his love interest in the
Hmm.
video
Hmm.
is the mother of Shane
Yes.
West in A Walk to Remember with Shane
Oh,
West and
okay.
Mandy Moore.
And she was part of Sense8, the Netflix show too.
Okay,
Oh,
yes, yes.
Daryl Hannah.
Daryl Hannah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she was an icon in the 80s.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
And I read that for him was possible, for Robbie Williams and Kylie Minogue and these even English or Australian artists was not so easy to get to be popular in the United States.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
for him was possible because of the participation of Daryl Hannah in the video.
Oh, it was when Kill Bill was being produced. So yeah, it was at her
Mm,
peak. She was in her one of her peaks.
yes,
Uh,
yes. Very
Joaquin,
attractive woman, by the way.
yeah, Joaquin also says, since you are talking about Robbie Williams this past few months, I've been hooked on his song "Tripping." It was a hit
Mm,
in both of my countries, but now as an adult, I have fallen in love with it. I need to
Yeah.
listen to that one. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one is cool too. Yeah.
Okay. Next one, Luquitas.
Oh, me. The next one is another Brazilian song. It's called Sem Radar. Is from a pop rock band called LS Jack here in Brazil. They were very popular in the early 2000s. Unfortunately, the vocalist had some issue with surgery. He did like a lipo. You guys know, like
Mm-hmm.
to
Liposuction?
yeah, something went wrong and he kind of lost the ability of talking and walking
Oh,
and
no
things.
way.
Oh,
Yes,
how
it's
sad.
super sad. Yes, so
Yes.
so the band is still inactive, but it's another guy singing. And for me this band was very special because this song was released in 2003, a special year and in music for me, for us, and was kind of the start of me discovering the type of music I wanted to make as an artist. And this song, I truly believe that shows up the type of music I wanted to make. If you listen, you can imagine me singing, and that's what happened. I sang this song like 1,000 times, and it was very special for me because this song was the very first song that I sang in public
Mhm.
in my life.
Okay, okay, okay.
Oh.
Yes,
Mm.
I was 17. I had the chance to sing for some friends. I was in high school, and in that moment, I used to be part of an agency here in my city that took young people to the TV shows, to
Mm-hmm.
be in the crowd watching the TV shows. So I was in a lot of TV shows watching all the time before school. So we used to do that during the day, and I used to go to school at night at that point.
Oh.
And we went to Idol, the Brazilian version of Idol.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
and my friends from this work told some guy of the production that I wanted to be a singer.
Mm.
And when they were off air, like during the commercials, they used to like try to put the crowd like very happy, you know. So when come back to air would be like, "Yeah," like this.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
yeah, in that moment, the guy was in the stage and he said, "Oh, there's a boy here who loves to sing. I'm gonna bring him to stage and gonna sing to us." And he said my name, and I was like, "What?
Wow. No way. Yes.
Wow.
What? I can't believe they did that." And for me, like in my brain was better to go than be that guy that is like, no, 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 you know.
Mhm, mhm.
So I was like, okay, I'm doing this. And I sang this song in front of people from the very first time. And I remember that some people were into it, like singing and clapping, and some people were really ignoring me. So even people who wasn't watching me gave me the confidence that maybe I was good. Because if I was bad, people would be like staring and laughing, you know.
Or
Mhm.
booing. Yeah.
Yeah, so in that moment I decided to sing. So when I come back
Wow.
to my regular days, I started my very first band with my friends that were my
Mm.
age, and we did some concerts in some parties here. So that was really special, and this was when I was 17. When I was 21, I decided to actually try to be part of Idol here in Brazil, and I sang that song again.
Again.
Yeah, wait, it makes me emotional a little.
Oh
Oh.
And
yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they said yes to me with that song
Wow.
in the first audition. So for me, it was like a super validation. Like, oh my god, they said yes. So this song is so important to me. In the second round, I was off, so I was not on television. But anyway, it was like for me super special, and I always sing the song. I sang in all the concerts I did, karaoke everywhere. So I love the songs are special. That's it.
Oh, Luquita.
Oh.
You were meant to take the stage in the church, in everywhere, darling.
Yes.
So you were meant to sing.
Yes.
Yes, you are
You were
right.
born to sing, to be in a stage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mal,
that's
did you
great.
listen to this song?
For sure, friend. And I watched the video. And right now, it's even more special to me to listen to your story and to be part of this. And thank you for sharing this amazing story with us. It's incredible, friend. It's incredible. It makes me cry too, because it's so emotional, you know. And I now right now I understand why this song is part of the soundtrack of your life. It's not only because you like it, is also
Yeah.
because it was part of a very important moment in your life. And I know that you had this dream of being a singer from the time that you were like a baby, I think.
Yes.
And yeah, right now I understand why, because that song was part of it. I was part, and you had the opportunity to sing the song. And even when I was watching the video and listening to the song, I don't know why I perceive a little of nostalgia or melancholic message in the song.
It is. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So I think right now it makes sense, you know. And of course, when I was watching the video and listening to the song, I was like, oh, this is the perfect song for Lucky Boys, you know, because
Yes.
it's this kind of song that I know you love to sing. But now with the story, it's even more emotional and even more important and even more meaningful. So thank you,
Yeah.
friend, for sharing this story with us. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Love you. I love you,
I
friend.
love you too.
We
What
love you,
about you,
Luquita.
Maria?
Well, I when since the moment the song began, I don't know why I imagined that song had something to do with you starting singing.
Yeah.
Don't know why. From the moment it began, I'm like, maybe Luquitas love to sing this song, and
Mhm.
I'm not wrong.
No,
So,
you're
uh,
not.
even though I didn't know the singer or this band or the song, I now that I listen to your story, it totally makes sense. why you love it, because it's so you. And
Yeah.
I'm really glad, not just by the song, that you guys that you are sharing these stories with us, because we get to know you more. We get to
Yes.
understand where you come from
Yeah.
and what made you love what you do. So probably the song didn't mean anything to me personally, but I know that for you, it's
It's
something that will
important.
stay forever.
Yeah. It is.
So I like the songs, not my kind of genre, because too
Yeah.
rocky, but I totally imagined it being related to you in the way that it made you start singing and falling for music and the idea of performing.
Yes.
So
Yes. It's
yes,
very
thank you.
special. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Luquitas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ruan says that Ellis Jack was so great. It's so sad about what happened with the lead singer.
Yes.
Do you have footage of it, Lucas? I would love to see it. I think he means when you were on Idol.
Yeah, I have a picture of me on the stage from the first time that I was not part of. The first time I sang, there's the picture with the logo. I'm wearing an awful clothes, like terrible outfit, and you can see people behind me like clapping, and some people like looking the other way. So I love this picture. Yeah, I'm gonna share.
Okay, share it with us, Luquitas. We want to
Please,
Yes.
see it.
yes.
Okay, moving on, guys. This is gonna be emotional because I'm gonna cry too.
Mhm.
Um, 25 years ago, when Melanie C decided to release her solo album, Northern Star, I actually have it here with me. My mom gave this to me for Christmas of 1999. Dang, I can't believe it's been so long. Uh,
Yes.
but I remember perfectly being obsessed with wanting this album, even though I didn't hear any song, because I had no idea. But she was always my favorite Spice Girl, and when I heard that she was releasing solo music, I was like, I have to have that album. And so my mom gave it to me without even knowing one song, and nowadays is one of my favorite albums in the world. But the song I chose is the self-titled this the song title Northern Star.
Northern Star.
Uh, when I was in fifth grade, uh, I had the worst time in my life when I was in primary school. I was bullied all the time. I always come back home crying. I was bullied in my classroom. I was bullied in my school bus. I hated going to school. Uh, I tried not to cry every day because I didn't want my parents to be so worried, because I didn't want to bother them or to make them feel that I was too emotional. Maybe they thought I was very emotional at the beginning and that I would cry for everything, but it was actually me being bullied every day and me not wanting to go to school because I didn't want to see these people. So when I got back home, I felt safe because my home was my northern star. I know the song has some kind of meaning, like you should follow what you should, your dreams and stuff. But for me, my home was that kind of safe place. So for me, I always associated Northern Star with my house. So the day we moved out of that house, I cried like crazy because uh, I didn't want to leave that home that saved me from all this trouble. And it was my haven. It was the place I wanted to be. So when we moved, I took my iPhone and I played that song when I was saying goodbye to my house. And oh my God, it was so emotional because I played it walking through my whole house and saying goodbye to it and saying thank you for being there for me and for being my haven. So for me, that's why this song is so important, because it was the place I will always miss. Today, I still think about my house and I get emotional with it. So that's why this song is so special for me, because it always brings me back to my home, that even though it's no longer there because they tear it all down and build a building, uh, for me, it's always there in my heart. and that it was there for me when I needed it the most. When I was out of school, I said, I want to get home because that's my place. That's when I'm safe. So, yeah, I told you I was going to cry. I'm sorry.
It's
So,
okay.
No, 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 it's okay.
um, well, now I want to ask Luquitas. I know you love Melanie.
Yeah.
See, but what do you think of the song
Well, first of
What do you think
all,
of the story?
and of
yeah,
this sad story I just told you?
it's kind of hard to talk because I was almost crying with you. Because like I feel every time we talk, and I mentioned this to Mao once, that you had a background that was not that easy. So I feel like that's the reason why you appreciate us as friends so much, and you show this all the time. That's why you are super happy to have Francesca now, for example, that is a girl as a friend. So
Definitely.
that is definitely sad to think about what we went through, but good thing we are here now all together and talking about it as a memory, not a reality. So this is good. I relate with you with the house thing because I had a home that was super hard to move on from it because I was so happy there too. And the same thing happened. They demolish everything, so it's not there anymore. And with Melanie C, of course, the song is really beautiful. It's not my favorite in the album, so it's crazy how the songs have different meanings for
Totally.
everyone. And
Totally.
the artist sometimes had no idea the impact the song would have. With me personally, I could choose easily Never Be the Same Again as one of the songs of my life because, especially because of the rap of Lisa Lopes. I love
Hmm.
the lyrics again, talking about destiny and what we are meant to be, and the lines between fate and everything that she mentions. I love those type of lyrics. But yeah, your story is definitely um amazing to be shared. So thank you so much for being so open and vulnerable with us here
Oh,
today.
thank you for listening. Mao.
Mi Mariel, as Lucky said, thank you for being vulnerable because I think I was not imagining like the size of the episode, like
Yeah.
how can touch
Yeah.
ourselves in different kind of ways, and Lucky shared that story and now you share this story and it's amazing. I love the way that you are vulnerable and thank you, mi Mariel, because I feel connected with you because I was bullied too and my safe space was music too and I wanted when I used to feel these things in the school, all I wanted to do is go back to my home and listening to my music, So I feel very connected with you, and I don't know. I think in this moment your story is above the song, because the song is part of the story, but the
Yeah.
story is like wow. And talking about this song, I think I understand because I remember in 2020 you recommend me this album when we start chatting like more
Hmm.
often, and
Hmm.
you recommend me this album. I was not so into the album. I never was so into the Spice Girls or even the girls making the solo things,
Hmm.
but today when I was watching the video and listening to the song, I was like, "Oh, the song is very deep. The
It
song
is.
is deep."
Yeah.
Yes, and she's talking about dreaming. She's talking about life. She's talking about all different kind of things, and even her look is like very different in comparison to the time when she was in the Spice Girls.
Definitely.
And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And
It's
right now
very
I understand.
inspired by Ray of Light by Madonna, I think. The
Okay,
song.
Yes,
okay, okay.
it was.
And even I can feel like I can compare, like I can feel the vibes or other kind of singers not so pop like other like Fiona Apple or something like that. It gave me this kind of vibe, like different. And right now I understand why you define this song this as like that, and you define your place and your house was your northern star. This
Hmm.
is the place where you wanted to be in that moment.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that story. It's powerful and it's beautiful, and love you, mi Mariel.
No, I love you guys, and I love you guys here watching. I want to thank you for your comments right now. I'm watching here. Ruan says, I'm crying. Francesca, we love you. Maria, I'm sorry you went through that, but I love you too. The house that built you. Yes, Adrian, it's the house that built me. So leaving it was so crazy. Joaquin, Mariel, a little piece of dirt got into my eyes. I know. We feel so connected to our home. So sad for some people that home is a place we avoid the most. So sorry for you, Mariel. Crazy that I live in the same house since I was two. Oh, Ruan, that's
Oh,
beautiful. I wish I
and
could
rare.
still
Yes.
have my house, but I mean, I now have my place with my family. I've made a family. I'm married, and and I have a kid. They are my new haven now, my northern star, and you guys are my other northern star. So I love you, all of you watching us, and Luquitas and Mau. You guys are like a haven to me because you are
Yeah, we
there.
love you
You are there.
too.
So
Yeah.
I
Love
love
you.
you. I love you. Okay, so I promise the next song is gonna be better. Okay, now let's
No,
move on. Let's move on to Mao.
I'm here for crying today. I'm ready for
I
that.
know,
Yes,
I
yes,
know.
and that was the intention of the show, being emotional, being
Emotional.
sensible. Yeah.
I hate you,
Yes.
Mao.
Well,
Okay.
friends, talking about my last song, I wanted to talk about something that is important in my life right now and the way I live my life right now. This song is a good thing by Seth and Kelani. And this song is talking about something that I feel right now in my life and is enjoying your life no matter if you have a couple or no. Because for me and for people that know me, like you friends, know that for me it's not so important to have a couple. So this song is the reflection of that, you know. I think I have a good thing right now. I think I can do whatever I wanted to do. I think I can go anywhere I want to go. So for me, this like a liberation, you know, like for me, this song is like a message of you don't need to have a couple to do what you want to do,
Yeah.
you know. So if you want to travel, you do it on your own, you know.
Mhm.
If you want to go out to a restaurant to have a very nice dinner, go ahead.
Yes.
Don't feel fear about it. Don't
Yeah.
fear about it. So this is the message of the song, and I love the message of the song. Kelani actually is one of these girls that is new. It's kind of new in the R&B world, but is one of my favorites in this kind of new scene of R&B. So I love that she's performing this song. I love the video and the beginning of the video and how she
Yeah.
portrays like this kind of things involved in that song. So yes, this is the message for everybody that I want to do, that I want to give right now. Don't fear it. You don't need anybody to do what you want to do, you know. And it's not, yourself is more important than anybody. If you want to have a couple, it's okay, because it's not like I'm discrediting this kind of things. It's like it's okay, but you don't need a compliment. You are your compliment. You complete
Yeah.
yourself.
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
can
Yeah.
you can
Please.
you can be your complement, you know. You can be whatever, you know, whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. So this is my message for people today. So this song is the reflection of how I live my life right now. So that's the reason I selected the song to be the last one. So I want to know what you think about the song, starting with my friend Luki.
Ooh. Well, first of all, I love who you are, friend. I love the fact that you are so taking care of yourself all the time, and
Mhm.
like your life is crazy. You are in different countries in the same week, you know, so you gotta be independent in some way, and be someone who enjoys your own company. And so this is perfect, and I think everyone should be like this, because there's so misunderstanding between loneliness and being alone and enjoying
Yes.
yourself. It's super possible to enjoy yourself in your own company. And I think everyone who's around us, if it's like a couple or a friend or family, has to be something to be a plus in your life,
Yes.
never to fill up a hole in. No, I'm not talking sexually, it's talking about emotionally.
Yeah.
It's not,
You
it's
and your dirty mind.
yes, yes. It's just you gotta be able to be alone and be happy.
Yes.
Actually makes me sad when I realize some people, it's kind of impossible. Like my father is like that. He doesn't know what to do with himself when he's alone, and that gives me some. I feel bad for him. I'm always saying, Dad, go watch a movie, go listen to your music, enjoy yourself, and he just can't. So it's really important for us to learn that. So when you have someone around you, is like a pleasure, not a needy, right? So
Yes.
I love that. The song I wasn't familiar. I listened for the very first time today. I watched the music video. I kind of relate with the music video because myself, I quit like 3 jobs in my life, saying "fuck it, I don't want this," and saying bye bye. So the music video kind of reminds me those moments in my life when I felt so free to saying to my boss, "fuck it,
I don't want to do
this
this
is not
anymore.
for me."
Yes.
Yeah. So I was related with that part. So now that I know how it hits you, is cool. It's cool to know.
Thank you, friend. Actually, there is a word that I really love, and it's solitude. In Spanish, it's
Solitude.
solitude.
Yes.
Solitude.
Yes. It's
Yes.
It,
enjoying yourself, enjoy your
it's
company. It's being alone, but not suffering because of that.
yeah. It's great.
Yes. What do you think, me, Mariel, about the song?
I didn't know the song either until today that I watched the video and heard the song. Um, I can totally see how it is connected to you because of the life you have, Mimao. You are never home.
Yes.
Uh, you barely answer your phone. So that's a complaint. That's a complaint because sometimes I'm like, where the fuck is Mao? So
Yeah.
no, but out of that, out of joke. I know you are a very independent person, and you're giving us this example of just enjoy your life. You only live once. Um, we are young, we're beautiful, so
Yes.
Yeah.
we have to enjoy
Absolutely.
the pleasures of life while we can do it. So
Exactly.
it is a message that it's completely related to what you are going through because you don't care what people says. You are going from country to country and doing stuff you like, and you pay for your own things. You are a very good example of what people in their 30s should be doing. uh,
No, thank you, me, Mariel.
so
Yeah. I agree.
I totally see why you like this song, and I know that I connect to it too somehow because I also love my moments alone.
Me
Yes.
too. A
So
lot.
when my husband is gone to the office and my daughter's at school, I'm like I can play my music as loud as I
Yeah.
want, and I can lay on my bed not caring about anything. So I know about that feeling that you need to be with yourself
Yeah.
Yes.
from time to time. I mean, it's
Yes.
great to have your family and your friends with you, but it's also great to have you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Exactly.
great song, Mimao. I think this is from the three you chose. This one is the one I like the most. So, and every time I listen to it, I will think about you and
Thank you, me, Mariel.
traveling somewhere and not answering your phone. So,
Yeah.
but
I
well,
relate. I relate with that, Marielle. Every time Mao is
I
online on
know.
WhatsApp, I stop at everything that I'm doing. I say, I gotta enjoy it
Yes,
while it's happening.
I know. I mean, he took like 3 days to answer me if he knew George Clinton. And I'm like, okay, so, Mao, where the hell are
Yes,
you?
yes.
Sorry, friends. Sorry, friends. Sometimes for me, it's impossible because sometimes it's in another
Time zone.
area that is in another time. Yeah. So when I discover, like, oh, okay, in Brazil is 1 a.m. or in Mexico it's 3 a.m. So it's impossible for
But
me to answer right now. So
but this is
I
another example of how good you manage your life, friend. Because
Yes.
I know you took time to do that. You are not
yes.
desperate to answer. So when you are in a country, you are living it. That when you have to sleep, you go to bed and sleep. It doesn't matter if people are waiting for your answer. And I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing because I'm constantly anxious to reply everyone. So sometimes I'm not present, in the moment.
Yes. Yes.
So it's good.
Totally.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I try to be present. Yeah, friend.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
now you know.
It's a good explanation actually.
Now you know if Mao doesn't answer, it's not because he doesn't want to. It's because he's
Yes,
enjoying life.
no.
You
He's
know.
Yes, I'm
living. He's
enjoying life.
living.
I'm taking my time to answer,
Well,
to reply.
I'm gonna enjoy Mao for a whole day in December. He's coming to Mexico,
He's
so
coming.
I'm
Yay!
so happy
Finally,
because we are
finally.
finally meeting again, and we I have Mao for one day, so that's
Yes.
awesome. Okay. So, Luquitas, your last song.
uh, First, just let me reply, Ron. He's a flight attendant, friend. That's why he's traveling all the time.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's the reason.
yeah. Well, my next song is another Brazilian one. I choose three Brazilian
Two
songs
Brazilians.
Yes.
tonight. Yes, is Sandy Jr., of course, my favorite ever in pop music. I choose a song, Não Dá Pra Não Pensar. It was originally released in 2001, but I asked my friends here, Marielle and Mal, to watch and listen to the live version released in 2019 when they did like a reunion tour. And I chose this song because 2019 for me was I had some years in my life where I was feeling very powerful, like I can do anything. And 2019 was like that. I quit my job. I decided to be my own boss in 2019. I start playing as a DJ in this club that I work right now in 2019. That was kind of my goal as a DJ. I wanted to be there. And working from home for me, everything. And I had this amazing surprise in 2019 that Sandy Jr. were back after 12 years
Mm.
separated for a reunion, and at the same time, Spice Girls on the UK. So I decided I gotta leave this whole thing. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I gotta do it. And I did with the Spicy Girls that I mentioned here before. I bought the tickets and I managed to make everything happen. The money for the trip and everything was amazing for me. And Sandy Jr. did at the same time. So I had the chance to went to two concerts, one in Curitiba and another one in São Paulo. That is actually the concert they recorded, the DVD
Mhm.
in the video that you guys watched. So I was there in that video, and I chose that one because it's the first song in the at the concert. So you guys could feel the energy, like the people very emotional and
Yes.
crying, yeah, and screaming and going crazy with that moment. That concert was very special because Sandy was very sick that day, and she was in bed like the whole day. No one
Oh.
knew if she would be able to be there for the concert. And she told in the documentary they did about this tour that at the exact moment that people start to scream her name, she had like a thing, like a full energy came into her body, and she said, I gotta do this. And she felt the energy
Mm.
of the public. So that's so beautiful
It's admirable.
for me. Yes.
Yes.
If, if you really know Sandy, when you are watching, you can see that her face is kind of weird. Her
Mm.
eye is kind of like this because she
No.
was, yeah, she was sick. But the concert was amazing. I cried a lot, and that turned out to be the biggest musical tour ever in Brazil. Like they earned 120 million reais, that are money here.
Wow.
I think like,
Wow.
yes, a lot of money. They
A
went
lot.
to the Billboard score chart with this tour. Like, it was the biggest tour in the world in 2019. Oh, the second bigger, only losing to Elton John. So
Wow.
was
Wow.
amazing. Yeah. For you guys to know, here we have Rock in Rio, that is like a huge festival with
Mm-hmm.
so many people, more than 100,000 people in the concerts, and they wouldn't, they were not part of Rock in Rio, but they decided to use the same space only for them, and they sold out for
Wow.
over 100,000 people
Wow.
that for the
It's
last concert
amazing,
in the tour.
incredible.
So
Yeah.
for me as a fan, it's like a moment that I feel very proud, to
Mm-hmm.
remember how big that was, and was like being good to the kid inside of me, seeing
Yeah.
Spice Girls, Sandy Jr. crying, singing like I was a kid is very special for me to remember. So I choose the video so you guys could feel a little bit. I want
Mm-hmm.
to make a tattoo about that year someday, somehow,
Okay. Good
to
idea.
have in my body, because 2019, man.
It's
If
stuck on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy that it happened before 2020, because
I
that would
know.
not be possible at all. So yeah, what do you guys think about the video, Mao? First, please.
Well, friend, you mentioned a lot of things that I want to talk about. First of all, I think 2019 for a lot of people was so important because it was like a comparison in the to the pandemic, like
Yeah,
2020. So it was like everybody when you ask a person about 2019, it's like, oh, it is the perfect year because it was before,
yeah,
and in that moment we were about to experiment this kind of horrible things with the pandemic. So I don't know for a lot of people, even for me, and I don't know for Mariel, I want to ask too. But it was like, oh, it was a very good moment in life.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the concert, I was watching the performance, and it was so emotional, and I don't know how to call it, like, oh, very excitement, like excited. I was excited watching the video because I
yeah,
imagine you there,
yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
and I know for millennium Brazilians was so monumental,
Yes.
Sandian Jr. So I can understand why, because I was watching the video and everybody was singing, and everybody, I mean everybody, like you can see girls, boys,
Yeah.
a different kind of people, like boys with tattoos, or even boys different kind of looks, and girls screaming Sandy and Junior. So I can understand why, and this is something that I ask you all the time, like about Sandy and Junior, and
Yeah.
because in your generation where they were so important, and they were like a part of the pop culture of Brazil in the 90s and in the 2000s. So when I was watching the video, I was like, oh my God, I imagine Lucas there screaming and singing that song,
I
because
was.
I think it was for you a moment that you will never forget.
Yeah.
So it's incredible.
Every time I watch the DVD from that show, I cry the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that day. I remember me as a kid listening to the songs. When I was at the concert, actually, both Spice Girls and Sandy Jr., I was all the time remember me as a kid. So it's very, very emotional for so many reasons. And now the fact that was before COVID in the word was a different word makes me
Yes.
cry too. So it's a lot. So
It's
I
a
love that
lot.
moment
Yes,
in my
yes,
life.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, and I can understand why is this kind of feeling when you remember, when you are in front of your artist and you remember, oh, I used to listen to that song when I was a kid in
Yeah.
the radio, or I had a CD, and now I'm watching the artist, I'm in the concert. It's incredible.
Yes. Yeah. What about you, Marielle? What do you think?
Well, I'm also very connected to 2019. I think it's one of my favorite
Mm,
years. That's the year I turned 30, and that's the year I got operated. That they found a tumor in my uterus that wasn't allowing me to get pregnant. So
okay.
since they took it away, I was able to get pregnant, and well, obviously the happiest thing happened because
Yeah.
I got my daughter. So for me, yeah, 2019 was a great year. Um, I didn't know the song. I obviously know who Sandy and Junior are, but I totally relate to you being able to go to a concert of people that you have loved since you were a kid. Because
Yeah.
the same thing happened to me with Jeans when they announced their comeback.
Yeah.
I was at their concert. I was crying the whole time. So now that you said I was crying, I'm like, yeah, I totally understand that feeling because those
Yes.
are the artists that you grew up listening to. So yeah, totally loved it. Since the moment it began, I also felt like goosebumps. Like I know
Mhm.
Luquitas felt it too.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I know why you feel so attached to this song and to this moment in
Moment.
particular.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing it. And that's awesome that you got to be there. So
Yes. Yes. My
awesome.
pleasure.
Um, Joaquin, I love Sandia Jr. I think they can't imagine how many fans they made in Chile or Germany with their
Yeah.
international album. What a shame they left their international career in the best moment.
Yeah, it's true. This tour went to New York and Portugal, but only.
Wow,
Yes.
that's so
Okay.
great.
Mariel, El Amor No Fallará was a hit there in Mexico.
Mm-mm. I don't
Okay.
remember it. No.
Okay, because here in Colombia the song was like not huge, but was on the radio and was a hit.
On Chile, I think was huge. They
Mm,
had a lot of fans there. Yes.
I don't remember it here, but I have to check.
Okay.
Okay, so to finish, this song is more positive. I'm not gonna make you cry. Actually, this song stopped me from crying. And it's called The High Road by JoJo, the same
Yes.
song as the title album of her second album.
Yeah.
Um, this song made me come out of that depression that I was into in many years, and that I went through heartbreaks, through tough moments, all that bullying, that change of schools, a lot of stuff, you know? When I heard High Road, I'm like, this is my anthem, and this is the song I'm going to stick to because I'm going to keep climbing, though it may seem hard. I'm going to keep preaching when life gets too hard. And I'm not going to let you bring me down because I'll take the high road.
I wrote.
So that's a very encouraging song for me. It reminds me of how weak I was and how strong I became. So
Yes.
I
Wow.
think I thank Jojo for that because when I felt that I was, melting, I was like, no, I'm gonna play the high road. And I always played it and felt better. So for me, that's a
Yes.
very powerful song that took me out of all that, of those years of being sad, and say, you know what, you can do whatever you want. Um, you're not gonna let anybody or anything bring you down again. So that was like the song that I arise to, like a phoenix, like
Yeah.
out of the ashes. So
Yes.
um, it's a very powerful song. I mean, she's singing to a boy in this case, but I'm singing it to life in general. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
In general,
um,
to all
uh,
of these people.
all these people that made me wrong, I'm like, you know what?
Yes.
I don't give a shit about you. And I don't care what are you doing with your lives. I'm gonna keep on with mine, and I'm gonna follow my dreams. And here I am, and I survived. So if I survived, you can do it too. You just have to take the high road, darling.
Yes.
So I know you guys are huge fans of JoJo, so I want to start with Luquitas. What do you think
Yeah. To be
of this
honest,
song choice?
I totally forgot about this song because
Really?
yeah, every time I'm listening to songs by this album, I go to Coming for You.
Coming for you.
Yes, Let It Rain.
Let it rain.
Yes, and of course, Too Little Too Late and Anything. And I totally forgot about this one. So when I was listening, I was like, okay, I really like it. This song, I remember now, and I think JoJo is so honest in her songs that she has that power of being a soundtrack of
Mm-hmm.
our lives in
Mm-hmm.
so many different moments, so many different kind of songs. And your story just shows again the power of music in our lives
Mm-hmm.
because music can brought us back to moments, to feelings, and it can change what we are feeling inside. of for example, I mentioned in our chat group, I think a singer Daniel CV that I'm listening a lot, but I avoid listening to his songs because really messes me up inside, you know. So every time I'm listening, I go, no, no, I don't want to go to that mood right now because it's too sad.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a song that can brings the energy, like for me lately is Absolutely Everybody by Vanessa Amorose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That song
Amorosi.
makes me so happy, you know. So I love this. That and JoJo, it's amazing. I think for me, like Save My Soul is a song that
Wow.
when I'm really deep and dark and melancholic, is a song that I listen and kinda torture myself. Like I listen in. I can't explain. Like you can save me. She says in that song is kind of bad, but I feel so related to that in that moment. So that's why I'm saying that her songs are so honest that you can feel those things. So I think she would be happy to know how her song helped you in that moment.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And each of you listening to us, if you haven't, please listen to it, because whenever you're feeling down, that song will definitely bring you up. So
Yeah.
now I want to ask Mao, that you are Jojo's huge fan.
Yes, mi Marila. I think Jojo is another queen of this podcast. You know that
Yes.
the three of us, love Jojo to death. A lot of things to say. Talking about Jojo, right now I'm reading the memoir, and I know that you are gonna feel connected as me to Joanna, in that way because she was bullied too.
Uh,
So right now that I'm reading the memoir and I'm like, oh my God, right now I understand why she's one of my idols because I can feel connected in the woman that Joanna Levesque is, not
mhm.
only Jojo as an artist. So in this
Yeah.
in the similar way of Stacey Rico, I can connect with the woman, not only the artist. So actually, yes, friends, you have to read this book because it's pretty amazing, and I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. Talking about the song, as same as Lucky, this is not one of the songs that I play the most. But when you recommend that song, I remember in that moment, like, oh, this is another song that I used to
Yeah.
listen to because it gave me this kind of power, like to feel powerful, to feel brave, to feel different. So yes, right now I understand why. So yes, yes, it's the lyrics. Even when, as Lucas said, even when she's really honest in that moment when she recorded the High Road, she was like under the manage of Blackground Records, and she was not taking all the decisions, all
Control.
like she was, yes, like she didn't have all the control. She was also honest in her lyrics, and she wanted to write her own songs, and she
Mhm.
wanted to produce, and she wanted to something that she's doing right now.
Have more
So
control.
I think,
Mhm.
yes, she wanted to have more control over her music. So
Mhm.
right now she's doing, and I think it's amazing. So that's the reason, and I know you guys are agree with me that it's not only Jojo the artist, it's Joanna the woman that
Yes.
we admire because she's so
Yeah.
brave.
For sure.
And
Yes.
yes, and it's incredible. It's amazing, and yes, I understand, Mariela. This is as Lucky said, it's a song that I'm gonna play more because I love that song, and I remember back in the day when I was a fan, I was listening to the song over and over again.
Yeah, it's a great song. So
Yes,
very
amazing song.
positive. Very positive.
Yes.
Um, Joaquin says the album High Road of JoJo was my soundtrack in the summer of 2007. It was very important to me. I bought it with my first salary,
Oh,
working as an advertising model that year. That's so great, Joaquin. And nothing like having your own money and doing whatever the fuck you want with
Yes.
it. So you don't have to
And
ask anybody if they
so
agree or not to buy something.
yeah.
yes. And talking about the soundtracks, I think that every JoJo album is the soundtrack of my life in every way. Because I remember when she released Good to Know, and was the
Oh,
pandemic. A lot of songs I feel so attached to and so connect to,
yeah.
because I was like feeling the same, like Lonely Hearts, for example. It's another powerful song that
Mhm.
give that message of, oh, being independent, you don't need anybody to be happy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yes, I think JoJo's album are the soundtrack also of my life and of our lives.
Yeah.
Yes. Well.
Yes. I was thinking about Save My Soul today
Mhm.
because
No,
I
yes,
remember a day that I was coming back from Rio, Rio de Janeiro, and I was in the road and I saw the most beautiful sunset ever in the car. In the car, we were listening to the Tringle, the three songs by JoJo. So Save My
yes,
Soul also reminds me that moment. So it's crazy how the
Uh,
songs turn out to be real soundtracks for us.
yes, for us, yes.
yes. I know we have like many other songs that are part of
Yes.
our lives. But today we chose like three of the ones that I think we have more present and that we wanted to share with you guys. A bit of our lives. We cried, we had fun. It was a very emotional episode, and I think, like Mao said, that was the point of this episode, to make it emotional and get to know more about each other. So it's great. It's always great to know more about the people you are talking to, your friends. So
Yes.
thank you everybody for watching. It was very great to talk to you about you both, Luquitas, Mau, like always, and thank you for all watching, Adrian, Ruan, Joaquin, Francesca, everybody watching, and Mau's mom, who is here.
Oh, hello, mommy.
And
she
well,
she was working, so she was like running
uh,
to have the
okay.
opportunity to watch the show. Yeah.
Oh, so cool. So thank you everybody for watching. And Mau, anything you want to add, darling?
Oh, friends, the episode for today was so emotional, was so moving, was so touchable. So thank you, friends, for sharing this part of your life. Thank you for being vulnerable. I appreciate that so much. I love you guys, and I think this is life about,
Yeah.
about feeling, about being vulnerable, about being connected to the music. And I think this is like the purpose of this podcast. So thank you for sharing all these stories today, friends. Love you so much and love the community. Thank you, the community, for sharing also your stories with us. And we love you. We are like a family.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are definitely Luquitas.
Well, I want to say thank you, everyone watching. Of course, thank you guys for being so open, talking about the experiences. I love to get to know more about you guys, and like every time we do stuff like this, I have the feeling that everything happens for a reason. I always believe that. So I don't know. Mao said that he doesn't know his mission, but we mentioned here how much we look to you as a person who's independent and living your own life. Sometimes you don't realize that your mission is not about you. Maybe it's how you portray yourself to others and change our lives and our thoughts. So I'm pretty much sure that your mission is something like this. Like
Oh, thank you,
is
friend.
beautiful. And Marielle, I know you spent some time alone in your life, but if it wasn't like that, you wouldn't be able to be so focused in knowing music and researching and getting all those weird pop stars all over the world. So later in life, you could meet us and share all this. So I think that is the reason why we do those things, and everything happens for a reason, even when it's hard. So that's the
Yes.
Yes.
thing.
Wow, friend. Yes. Thank you,
Thank you.
friend.
Thank you. And
Yes, you
we
are
and we
totally right.
we admire you too, Luquitas, because
Oh, thank you.
you're a very strong person and you have fought a lot to achieve your dreams. So I
Yeah,
think
thank you.
each one of us have something that connects us, and that's amazing. So,
Yes, it
well,
is. Thank you so much.
I tell you this all the time, friend, and I taking advantage of this opportunity to say to you again that yes, I learn a lot from you all the time. and I learned to be deep, and I learned to have a different perspective. And you are this kind of person that have this, like, how do you say a don? Like, you have a don,
A
tener
gift.
un don. Yes, a gift.
Oh, okay. Gift.
You have this kind of gift to read people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and to look further. So that's why I admire you so much, and I love you so much, and you
Thank you.
are
I love you too.
like, yes, friends. So yes, a lot
Thank
of
you.
love
Thank you so
today.
much. Yes.
Yes. And thanks for our community for being here because you
Thank
Thank
guys
you,
are
you,
friends.
very important
thank
to
you,
us.
friends.
Yes.
Yes.
No, this is not a season finale, Adrian. Don't no, we
Almost, almost.
almost
Yeah,
because the year is about to end, but a lot of
Yeah.
things are coming. But
yeah.
Yes.
well, thank you everybody for being here. See you next time. We love you and we cherish you all. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, friends.